Hello everybody, in this video we will take a short look to my Java project for Instagram replica. We will take a short look to the folders with the code. We will start with the domain where we have the classes. They are named in Romanian. We have users. This is the class where we store our users for our social network. As you can see, they have a name, first name and last name, an email, a password, which we use for connecting. We also have a friendship that will help us make the connections between our users. We have the message class, the logged in instance, which is the one that logged in, that will help us in the login page. We have an entity which stores an ID and also a friend request, so our user can send messages and friend requests. In repo, the interesting part is at the database repositories. We use a Postgres database in which we store the same classes as in domain without entity. As you can see, we have all the tables here with the ID. Okay, now that we are done with the database, we have a repository for each class where we use SQL queries to get the information from the database and also to store it. And then we also have a paging repo. This one helps us when we want to show the friend list, but not in the same list like in pages. So we can go to the next page or to the previous page. Let's say maybe we want to have 3 or 4 users displayed in the own page, and this helps us with that. In service, we have a user friend service. That it's not a good name because here we have all the functions that our project uses. As you can see, it implements an observable event that helps us with our observer and controller patterns. In tests, we have some tests to see if the information is stored correctly in the database. We also have this for users, and maybe the most important parts are the controller. We have a homepage controller for our Instagram profile. We also have a login controller and a chat controller. I can't quite find my observer because that's very interesting and I want to show it to you to explain how it works. Let's see, observer. As you can see, the classes are very well structured. I think they are in utils, yes. So, as you can see, we have an event which can be of type add, update or delete. We have the interface for event, and we also have a user event where we store some messages for the observer to know when something needs to be updated. Well, if we talk about pages in a repository, let's also talk them in the page class, where we see elements of page and the total number of elements. This is very important to know for the application to know on every page which many user should it display. Also, we have pageable that is used in repositories. And let's go now to the interesting part, which are observable and observer. Well, what does an observer do? They update and they extend an event. Basically, they send a message to all the other users that open the application that something has changed. Like maybe a user deleted a friendship or someone sent a friend request. And observable, we add an observer for every user that logs in our application. If the login is correct, we add an observer to it, and we also have the notify observers, which sends a signal to all the other observers, and we use it in the service. Here, as you can see, we also have the add observer, delete observer, and notify observers. As you can see, the observer can update, and when they notify all the observers, they update. Add observers and delete observers only use the add and remove when we don't need, well, maybe when the user closes his or her page, we will remove the observer. We have the hello application where we start with our we log into our database, we make repositories for all our classes, and then we include them in the service. And then we start with the primary stage. In it, view login. Exactly, where we will open an scene just for logging the users. And then we have the profile itself, which is stored in open instapage function. When we go to this, as you can see, we use fxml files for the formatting of the page. Let's go through the views because they are the next one. We have very important 4 views. This was used in the in the first version, I think, and then we moved to Instagram profile to structure it to look like an Instagram page. As you can see, we have a lot of buttons, image views, labels, and let's start with the login view. Here you can see we have a lot of styling because I like the styling very much. And we also have a chat view. This one helps us to send messages to another user. We also have some profile photos. I chose some funny one for our users in the in the Instagram application, and every photo is its path, it's remembered in the database, so we can show it. Okay, now as you can see, here are the photos and we will access them. We also have some CSS for the styling and the module info and the build grader one. I will display them in my GitHub. So let's start the demo. As you can see, it takes a bit to run, but then we have opened the login. So we write here, as you can see, if I press login without anything, it tells me that I need to write the name and the password. So we will start with my profile. If the password is incorrect, it tells me name or password wrong, because it won't be correct to say only the password is wrong or only the name. So now I logged in. As you can see, I have 3 followers. I also follow 3, and I have the message functionality. I can look for some other users. Let's say maybe I'm looking for Klaus or maybe for Andreas, and this is my interface. As you can see, the interesting part that I implemented Here I can see some friends, like in the real Instagram. And when I presented it, uh, one student asked me, why didn't you implement the Reels? I told them that if I implemented the Reels, the people couldn't get off my project. So that's why we don't have Reels yet. Okay, hope you enjoyed my video. Hope you found this video helpful, and have a nice day. Thank you for your attention.